So today we will be discussing the numericals on consolidation. We have already completed the portion of compaction and consolidation. The entire module 3 we have gone through. Now we will be looking on the numericals based on this topic consolidation. So see here the very first numerical, a soil of specific gravity 2.67, alright, the values are given to you, has a moisture content of 20%, that is the water content, when fully saturated. So saturation value is also given. So as you already know that when we talk about consolidation, the soil is what? Fully saturated. So S is equal to 1 here, or you can say in terms of percentage, then you would say that it is 100%, alright. So degree of saturation. A 2 centimeters of thick sample of this soil is tested in a consolidometer, alright, which shows a compression of 0.050 centimeters. So this is the compression that it shows, alright, when the load is increased from this to this. So the load has been increased from this value to this value, alright. Calculate the compression index of the soil. So first of all, what is given to us, we will see that, then what are the formulas that we know, and then what we need to find out that we have to calculate there. So see here, soil has been some field condition would have been there, and from that some soil has been taken out into the lab where it is tested in a consolidometer, and the values are these of that soil sample, that is specific gravity is given as 2.67, water content is given as 20%, and saturation is 1, that is 100%. And see here, when you tested in the lab, the compression which you observed was 0.050 centimeters, alright. When the load was increased from what, 45 kilonewton per meter square to 90 kilonewton per meter square. So आपका जो लोड था वो आपने 45 किलोन्यूटन प्रति मीटर स्क्वायर से बढ़ा के कितना कर दिया, 90 कर दिया. तो कितना ऑब्जर्वेशन आपने किया डेल्टा एच का, डेट वाज दिस 0.050 centimeters, alright. Initial thickness that you took was 2 centimeters, alright, 2 centimeters thick sample was taken and that will be tested. So we will be saying that H naught is equal to 2 centimeters, delta H is equal to what, 0.050 centimeters. Initial overburden pressure was 45 kilonewton per meter square, and the final overburden pressure which was there, that was 90 kilonewton per meter square. So we denote it as sigma naught dash and sigma 1 dash, alright. So again see, you have to find out the void ratio, because when you are trying to find out the settlement, what is the formula? This is delta H is equal to what, the thickness into Cc, that is compression index Cc, by 1 plus E naught into log of the initial stress and the final stress that has been there, alright. So first of all we have to find the certain values, that is E naught first of all. So see here, S is given as 1, W you know that is 20%, and G you already know that is 2.67. So only thing variable is that is E, that you did not know in this part. So you find out E, W G by S, W you put 0.20 into 2.67 by 1, S is the 1 value. So void ratio comes out to be 0.534. This is the what, initial void ratio, alright. When the compression is being taken place, what happens, initially the load was what, 45, and finally the stress was increased to 90. So the change was what, plus 45. So this will be the what, delta sigma dash, alright, or the delta sigma value actually, not the pore water pressure but delta sigma value. So 45 plus 45, so this is the initial one 45, and this is the change, and this is the final value, that is the 90. So see here we are putting the values in this formula here. Delta H you already know, that is 0.050 centimeters, and then H you already know what, it was 2 centimeters of sample which was taken, then this is the Cc which you do not know. E naught you have calculated here by Es is equal to Wg formula. Now log of what, initial pressure in the denominator and the final pressure in the numerator, because there was some change, you increased the load, so the compression was observed, so the settlement was observed, alright. So what is this, this is 45 plus 45, because the change is what, 45 here, initial burden pressure is this thing, and this, the change is what, this plus 45, that is delta sigma, alright. When you put these values, it comes out to be, simply you are putting these values, there is nothing as such which I have to tell you here. This Cc comes out to be 0.1274. This was what you needed to find out, the coefficient of this this compression index value. Alright, so now moving on to the next numerical. See here, how many days would be required by a clay stratum 5 meter thick, okay, alright. So the clay stratum is given, draining at both the ends. We have already seen what is drainage at both ends or drainage at one end, with the coefficient of consolidation as 50 into 10 to the power of minus 4 centimeter square per second. So this value is given, okay, to attain 50% of its ultimate settlement, alright. So now what we are talking about, 50% of its ultimate settlement, that is, let us say if the soil was in this time span, let us say it is 0 and it, let us say some 10 years or so, if the total settlement was to be observed was, let us say 50 centimeters, alright, I am taking just an arbitrary value here for explaining you. So if we are talking about the 50% of its ultimate settlement, so we can easily say that we want to find out what, 25 centimeters of settlement, okay, and what time would be taking for this 50% settlement. So we will be seeing this thing here, we have to find out this thing here. So see what is given here, the clay stratum is 5 meter thick, so we can take the height as 5 meters there. CV is equal to 50 into 10 to the power of minus 4 centimeter square per second. This is what coefficient of consolidation that is given here, and then U percentage is equal to 50%. What is the degree of consolidation? How much consolidation has been completed? That is 50% there, and this T50, the time factor here, has given to be 0.197. If this was not given to you, you could have easily found out by what? You already know that if U percentage is less than what, 60%, then TV is equal to what? You usually know this, alright. And other case was another thing, what? If U is greater than 60%, TV is equal to what? This was 1.781 something minus 0.933 log of 100 minus this, and this was what? Pi by 4 of U percentage square, alright. So these are the two formulas that you know, and you know that this is the very first case, that is U less than 60%. So you can easily find out even if this is not given to you, okay. So it is given, so you simply put in the value. Now it is being said that the clay stratum is 5 meter thick and it is draining at both the ends. So see here, this is the clay stratum and sand is here also and sand is here also, and in between this is the clay layer, alright. So this is what, 5 meters, this is a, consider this as a straight line, this is the 5 meter thick layer. So water is draining from this end also and this end also. So the D will be what, the water molecule here, the drainage length which it has to cover, this water molecule is to be what, D. This can be easily written as what, H by 2, alright, because the water molecule has to travel only half the distance. So D can be taken as H by 2, this comes out to be 2.5 meters, alright. Now simply you have to find this how much time does it take, alright, how much time does it take. So you know the TV value, the time factor here, you know the coefficient of consolidation which governs the rate of settlement, and then which governs the consolidation actually, and then this is the D, that is the drainage length there. So you know the drainage length, that is half only because both sides drainage is possible, and then when you put the values here, T50 here and CV, you know that it comes out to be the what, 50 into 10 to the power minus 4 here, and when you convert it into days, so you multiply it by 60 into 60 into 24. So D you already know, it was given to you 2.5 here, and this TV is what, 0.197. So it comes out that in 28.5 days the consolidation will be 50% complete, alright. Okay, so this was what was asked there, that how many days would be required by this clay stratum which was 5 meters thick and draining at both the ends to be 50% settled. So it comes out to be 28.5 days. So in this numerical we have already discussed the two numericals. Now in this third numerical, see what is given to you. In a consolidation test, void ratio of the specimen which was 1.068 here, alright, and which was under the effective pressure of this 214 kilonewton per meter square. Now this was changed to 0.994 when the pressure was increased to 429 kilonewton per meter square. Now see, calculate the coefficient of compressibility, compression index and coefficient of volume change. So these three things you have to calculate there, but before this understand the test is being performed in the lab in a consolidation test, that your consolidometer you are performing the test, wherein you see you have gone to the field, and from the field you took some soil specimen, and this specimen was tested in the lab here. So, in lab what do you do? What do you observe there? That when the load was increased from what, the 214 value to, let us say, what is given to you, 429 kilonewton per meter square. So, what will happen in this case? When the load is being increased, the effective stress is being increased, what will happen? The void ratio will decrease there. You already know this thing. How? Because by this graph that E is there, and if you talk about the effective stress value there, so what happens? This is the curve. Okay. So, when you apply some amount of stress, let us say 214, alright. So, there is some void ratio, that is, let us say 1.068, okay, and then there it will be, if you increase the load, if you increase the effective stress, let us say 429 value, what happens? The void ratio will be decreasing, because when you apply the stress, what will happen? The soil will be settling, and that settling will be observed in the terms of height, and that can be also represented in terms of what? Change in the void ratio, or the decrease in the void ratio. Okay, I have already told you this multiple times, that how the void ratio will be getting affected there. So, this is the initial condition wherein E naught is equal to 1.068, which is given to you here, and the effective pressure of 214 kilonewton per meter square is given. When it was increased, this load was increased, this effective stress was increased, what happened? The void ratio decreased to somewhat lower value. Now, we will be finding out the coefficient of compressibility, okay, the compression index, and the coefficient of volume change. Okay. So see here, if you are talking about the coefficient of compressibility, it is given as what? Minus of what? Delta E by delta sigma dash, because it was the some change in void ratio. If we are talking about this curve, so this was E and this was, let us say, sigma dash or sigma effective, sigma prime. So, effective stress is there. Now, the curve was obtained like this. So, whatever change is there, okay, some initial was, let us say, 1.068 and the second was 0.994. So, this is the void ratio change, which can be written as in this part, and whatever be the effective stress that was increased from this part. Okay. So, this effective stress which was there, let us say 214, now it was increased to 429. So, you can easily find out the slope corresponding to these two values. Okay. So, you put in the values here, E naught minus E1 and sigma 1 minus sigma naught in the terms of effective values, that is why sigma 1 prime, sigma naught prime is given. So, it comes out to be 3.44 into 10 to the power of minus 4 meter square per kilo Newton. Alright. So, this is the first thing here, AV, that is the coefficient of compressibility. Now, listen, we have to talk about the volume compressibility. You should remember what is volume compressibility. It was MV, which was what? The change in volume. Okay. It was given by what? If you remember, delta V by V per unit change in effective stress. Okay. So, this was the value of MV, which you can also represent as what? Delta H by H by delta sigma dash. Okay. So, which can be simplified as what? AV by 1 plus E naught. Alright. So, AV you have found out from this place. So, you can simply put the values here and 1 plus E naught. So, initial void ratio was 1.068. So, the coefficient of volume compressibility comes out to be 1.66 into 10 to the power of minus 4 meter square per kilo Newton. Alright. Now, we move on to the compression index. So, compression index was nothing but this thing where you found out the AV value. Now, see, compression index was what? The graph between E, okay, and log of what? Sigma dash. Okay. So, when you are talking about log of sigma dash, so when you plot the curve here, okay, so there is some void ratio corresponding to some effective stress, there is some other void ratio corresponding to the other effective stress. Now, the slope of this line would be compression index. So, Cc comes out to be what? You can easily find out the slope mathematically also, minus delta E log of what? Sigma 1 dash by sigma naught dash. Alright. So, simply you are putting the values in terms of log. So, compression index comes out to be 0.237. Okay. So, moving on to this part here, this numerical number 4 here, the subsoil profile at a proposed site of construction is shown in the figure. Okay. This is the figure here. A square footing 2 meter by 2 meter carries a total load of 1000 kilonewton and is laid with its base at 1 meter depth below the ground surface. Assuming that the post construction settlement construction in sand is negligible, determine the consolidation settlement of the clay layer on account of the construction. There is geological evidence to suggest that the clay is normally consolidated. Now, you have to use approximate 2:1 load spread to estimate the stress increase in the clay layer. Okay, for this you have to see the figure is given to you, where I have shown you the load distribution also. Now see, a square footing is given 2 meter by 2 meter, which carries a total load of 1000 kilo Newton. Okay. So this is the setup, the field condition wherein the sand is there, sand layer is there, then another sand layer is there which is having a value of gamma different, the bulk density, bulk unit weight is different, 16 kilonewton, 20 kilonewton, and there is clay layer below these two sand layers, and the value of gamma in this case is what, 19 kilonewton per meter cube for the clay layer. Now also some values are given, that is this clay layer natural water content is given as 40%, the value of GS is given as 2.7, liquid limit is given as 60%. Okay. Now the clay layer thickness is given as 3 meters to you, the sand layer whose bulk unit weight is given as 20, its height is, its depth is 2 meters, and sand layer which is having a bulk unit weight of 16 kilonewton per meter cube is having the thickness of 2 meters. Now there is a footing, this foundation is what, this is having a weight of 1000 kilonewton per meter square. Now the depth which it is penetrating is what, 1 meters. Okay. So we have assumed the load as what, 2:1 spread. So 2 vertical is to 1 horizontal. We all, now you have to understand where do we consider the settlement. We always try to find out the settlement. Okay. See here, determine the consolidation settlement of the clay layer on account of the construction. Alright. Now where do we find out the consolidation settlement? We find out in the case of what, center of the compressible layer. Okay. At this layer. Okay. At this layer, center of compressible layer at this 1.5. Okay. So we have to find out this depth also, this width also on which the load is acting. Okay. So let us see. Now first we will see what happens at this center of this clay layer, alright, at this center. So see, load distribution dimension at the center of the clay layer is what, this 2 meters plus 2 into 0.5 into 4.5. How does it take place? Now see, what will be the value? This is the value first, 2, okay, this is there. Now see this thickness, okay, this height, what is it? It is 1 meter here, 2 meters here, and then 1.5 meter here. So the total thickness is what? 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 1 4.5. Now if this is 4.5, the corresponding value here will be what? It will be what? 2:1. So let us say we found out that this is the 4.5 value, and this value is what? You have to find out this value. So this is what? 2:1 spread. So 2 is here, 1 is here. So this will be what? This will be 0.5 of what? 4.5, that is half the value of 4.5. So you get this point here. Now similar is the case in this section also. This is symmetrical diagram. So this will be also what? 0.5 into 4.5. So you multiply it by 2 here. Okay. So the load distribution dimension at where you will be seeing at the center of the clay layer, that is this width to this width, between these two widths, and this width comes out to be 6.5 meters. Therefore, increase in the pressure due to load at the center of clay layer may be given as, let us say, delta sigma dash, which we will calculate here, because load is the effective stress or the stress value which we calculate, it is calculated by what? Pressure per unit area. So the load is here, that is 1000 kilonewton, let us say 1000 kilonewton is the load here, that is P, and area is what? That is, you can see it in 2D figure, huh? If you take it in the 3D plane, what happens? This will be square base, the base which is, let us say here, if we go into 3D, okay, like this. So this, when you are distributing it in trapezoidal way, the load distribution will also be in the 3D plane. So that will be the area that will be covered. So 6.5 in this direction and 6.5 in the other direction. So this is the area, 6.5 into 6.5. So the effective stress, that is the delta sigma change, which will be coming out due to the footing there. that will be 23.67 kilonewton per meter square. Now, we will finding out the effective stress at this center of the clay layer. Now, before the construction of the footing, but what we have already found out, that is the what is the effect, what is the change in the load, that is the change in the pressure due to the construction of the footing, that is 1000 divided by that area at the center of compressible layer. Now, seeing this effective pressure, see sigma dash is equal to what, gamma sand into 2 plus gamma dash sand into 2 plus gamma dash clay into 1.5. You can easily note these things in the figure, because we will be finding out for this sand layer first of all, that is 16 into the thickness of this layer. Then for the second layer, see here in the diagram, that is 20 kilonewton per meter cube into the depth of this layer. And then what will be this point, you will not consider the entire depth, because you are considering only this third portion on the third layer here. So, this comes out to be what, 19, you know, that is the unit weight, and this depth is what, only 1.5 meters. So, 19 into 1.5, alright. So, now understand one more thing that was given, that is the water table. So, in the first case the bulk unit weight can be used, but in the second case the effective value will be coming into the submerged value will be coming into effect. In the third case also, because there is water table, the effective value or the submerged value will be coming into place. So, in these cases we are taking the gamma submerged and gamma submerged, alright, in the second and the third layer. So, 16 into 2, that you can easily find out, 20 is given to you, wherein you will be subtracting the gamma W value 9.81, and this 19 is given to you. So, you will be subtracting this gamma W value, okay, into 1.5 the thickness. So, this comes out to be sigma naught comes out to be 66.165 kilonewton per meter square, alright. Now, if you talk about the settlement is given by what, h into the compression index, alright, by 1 plus E naught into log of the final value which is there, that is initial plus the change, whatever be the value increase, that you saw in the very first numerical which we discussed there. Now, Cc value is not known to you, but it has been given that you have to assume the soil as normally consolidated soil. So, we can take the Cc value according to the value of what, that it is undisturbed. So, for undisturbed, you know that the soil is what, for calculating the compression index, you know the formulas, empirical formulas there, where it is 0.009 into liquid limit minus 10, and these are the different values, that is the water content is known to you, G value is known to you, and liquid limit is known to you for the clay layer. Now, you know the H is equal to 30 meter, that is the thickness of the clay layer, and the void ratio is given as G into W by S. So, 2.7 into 40 by 100, alright, that is the 100%. You already know that the soil is completely saturated when we are talking about the consolidation part. So, E naught comes out to be 1.08. When you put these values, these three values in the above equation here, so putting it values, H comes out to be what, this 0.45 into 3 by 1 plus 1.08 and log of the change in values. Now, log of initial was, the stress was 66.165 meters, and also understand, sorry, not meters, it is kilonewton per meter square, and when we talk about the change which is there, that is 23.67 on account of construction, because this is the change which will be brought by the construction of the foundation. This foundation was constructed there, and due to this the load which increased what, 23.67 kilonewton per meter square. So, this was the change which was brought in. So, the delta H comes out to be 8.62 meters, alright. So, with this we come to an end to this module, and in the next class we will be discussing the shear strength and the other vertical stress distribution. Thank you.